So today we are going to learn about how to conduct an e-commerce business. Now, the objective is to learn the step-by-step process of conducting an e-com business and what should be the right strategy to make it effective, and of course some tips, right? Okay. If I had to ask you all, what do you think about e-commerce business? So what would you say? Any one of you?
I like it because I'm an artist and I have work in the gallery, but online it's 24/7 worldwide, which gives me more chance to reach customers.
Of course. That's a real good answer. Yes, there are two very important and very attractive reason as to why we all should do an e-commerce business. Is the biggest thing is that you don't have to do a lot of things. That is what attracts me the most, that ideally any startup, any entrepreneur needs to do. They are very important part of a business which requires a lot of investment and real good professionals for it. You don't have to do that because it is someone else who will be doing it for you. Number one. Number two, yes, you can acquire your customers from throughout the world. There is no geographical boundaries as such. And third thing, as ma'am said, yes, 24/7, anytime, like you are awake at night and you don't have anything to do, you can start doing your any business. You can check it out, what is the progress. Anytime it is always there ticking all around. So yes, these are a very important and attractive reasons why we all actually prefer e-commerce. And the second thing is, this has actually pushed the walls of various things, like the strategies, where you have to think about a few policies related to who will be your customers, why that particular segment, and then when you think of that, then there are certain doors which are closed as well. We'll talk about it in detail later, but today, because my topic is how to start an e-com business, so we'll be talking about how to do it. So simply put, what is e-commerce? It's buying and selling goods and services on internet, through internet, right? It is obviously, it requires a few of these things like computer, tablet, smartphone, or some smart devices. And almost everything anything can be purchased and sold through e-commerce today. And do you all know that even services, it's not only things, even the services nowadays can be very easily acquired through e-commerce. Now you would be wondering, what is she talking about? Yes, I am quite knowing as to what I'm talking about, because these days you get a lot of services online also. They do it for you there and then. So obviously, why don't we call it something as a part of it? As a part of your e-commerce. So what are the various types? If we talk of the types are, how many of you know this? What are these types? B2B, B2C, C2B, C2C, B2A, and C2A.
Business to business, business to consumer. Yes. That's all that I know.
Then the other way around, consumers to business, consumer to consumer, business to administration, and consumers to administration. Okay. So when we talk of business to business, we all know that big businesses, they also need certain things. Like, for example, I'll tell you, there is a steel plant, right? a business that requires coal to work. Now, coal is again another business. So instead of, going or sending their representatives to the place wherever they can find the type of coal that they are looking for, and then going and having a negotiation over there, they can simply check it out on the websites, and they'll get the detail of everything over there. And then they can have their negotiations. They can, fill in their requirements, and then they can get the quote over there. They can finalize it there on the platform itself, and then get the deal done. Now you can understand, see how much it is saving the time, energy, and at the same time it is actually very, very transparent. Because generally, in these type of negotiations, earlier people used to say that there were a lot of chances of corruption in between, right? The give and take things. But when it is this kind of a platform where you can do everything, I mean, all the negotiations are also, kind of transparent. Everything can be checked out. So the chance of, I don't say is eliminated, but chances of corruption is also, minimized to a great extent. So that is one thing. Again, there are lots of tools, small tools or equipments, manufacturing requirements, which are again dealt in by the B2B kind of, propositions of e-commerce these days. Second is B2C, which we all know about. We all are part of it these days, right? None of us, I think, there's anyone over here who can say that, we have never purchased anything online. I don't think so nowadays. So
I have a question.
yes.
I have a website that I need to put shopping on that, but how do you drive people to your site or whatever you're doing online? How do you get the customers?
Yes, ma'am. So for that, no, you have to pay a very small charge to a few people who are specialized in that, and they can help you by putting your advertisements on the search engines, right? Then putting it, I mean, because people might, as soon as they put in a few keywords, no, it can direct it to, I mean, that those keywords can direct them to your website. So these are actually, ma'am, done by the professionals who can, I mean, you must be having someone who is looking after your website, right? So you can ask them, they can take the help of these professionals who can optimize it. It is said optimization. So they can do it through search engines, through advertisements on, I mean, they'll just check the pattern of people who are buying things which are related to your product. So that they'll automatically get the information. I mean, it will be there and your advertisement will be flashed to them. So that way, and they'll not charge you anything till the time anyone clicks your advertisement. The moment they click, it becomes chargeable. So fine, no, you are getting your client, whatever you are looking for, you are getting it there. So then it is not hard for you to pay also, no, that becomes really convenient, right?
So how would you find a company or person that does that? Would you just Google it?
I'll let you know a few of them, right?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, most welcome. Okay, so the next is B2C business, so which is generally the one that we all know as, I mean, generally this is what people think is e-commerce when we talk of B2C, right? These days, everyone checking it out on Amazon, Flipkart, Mintra. Nowadays, it's again Nika. I mean, for we ladies. So there are so many such platforms. We all are so kind of attached to it. Every time, we open our phone, sometimes, most of the time our finger tend to move towards that to check out what is new there. So this is another one, B2C. The next one is C2B. Now you all must be wondering, what is this C2B? Consumer to business? Okay, tell me, how many of you have watched those YouTube videos in which they give you reviews about products?
Yep.
Most of us have. Do you know that is a kind of C2B business? They are the consumers who have bought the product, used it, and then they come up with videos which obviously attracts a lot of other customers. That is a big business proposition. That is a kind of, business that they are giving to the business. And, they often get contracts. Sometimes, the business call them up, these consumers who have now become very popular, and they ask them to buy or check out a few products and give feedback on that in their videos. So that is a kind of, again, a business that people now it is a big opportunity. They are earning through it, right?
So mainly it's the social influencers that do it.
Social influencers. You and I become the social influencer, ma'am. We start off just as a casual one, and slowly, as we become popular, then we start getting business from the business houses. So that is how it happens. So initially, those people might have done it just casually, right? And then slowly they become social influencers. And then the business see opportunities there. Because after all, they have to do the advertisements, but this advertisement is something which people will take more seriously. Why? Because they think it is coming from another consumer, right?
So I have a question.
Yes.
Is TikTok a viable method to use that? Will that help you grow your business?
TikTok, ma'am, is banned in various countries these days. So if you have to take it up, so take up something which will have a global appeal kinds, right? So look for YouTube is one such platform. I'm not advocating it, but something that people actually move on to or look towards whenever they are looking for something. So I think that would be more reliable, right? Okay.
Thank you.
So, and then consumer to consumer. Now, what is this? Can anyone of us give an example of this? Because this is trending these days, consumer to consumer.
If I advertise my products through WhatsApp group, do you call it consumer to consumer?
Exactly, ma'am. The business that these days people are doing, you all must be a part of one such group which your friend or someone else might have formed, through which what they do, they are not the actual sellers. They take it up from somewhere else and post it in the group. And if any of you place orders through it, so they get a small commission out of it. They are not having to invest anything. So they are kind of consumers who are buying on the behalf of some other consumer. And, just with the rate differential, they are able to earn that way. So, you all must be wondering as to, when I'm talking about the steps to be followed to conduct an e-commerce business, why am I talking about the types? Because I'm giving you the options that you have, right? What all are the ways through which you can start an e-commerce business is what I mean to say. And that is the reason why I'm going on talking about these kind of business. What all options do you have? Now, it all depends upon see.
Ma'am, can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Go ahead.
Actually, when we are planning to do a business, will we fall under business to consumer category or consumer to business?
Ma'am, what kind of a business are you intending to do?
It's something cooking. Selling of home-based products.
Fine. So that will be B2C, ma'am. Because then you will be business. No, you are not consumers. You are not buying it from someone else. Right. So you are not kind of a retailer who is buying from the wholesaler and then selling it. No, you are doing it from your side. So you are a business, and the person, I mean, the other party, whoever will be buying it, will be the consumer. So it will be B2C. That is why I said this is the most popular one. That is the most used one as well. And C2B is not that, common. Not everyone can do that business, right? Nor is it C2C, but C2C is now becoming very, very popular these days. I mean, as I said, no, every one of us are a part of one such group, or might be many such groups. So they are actually the consumer, because the producers or the business actually know them as their customers only. So they are a customer who in turn is selling it off to other customers also. So that is customer to customer or consumer to consumer kind of business. Now, any guesses as to what can it be when it comes to business to administration? Yes, so, Simran ma'am.
Sorry, I joined a little late, so I did not know. I don't know what is B2B. Can you just
is, yes, sure. Quickly, I'll talk about it. It's business to business, ma'am. Business to business e-commerce. Like we all know that industries have to buy a lot of things for themselves, right? And obviously they buy it from other businesses. So this is B2B, but we are talking about the online form of those B2B businesses, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Most right. Okay, so any guesses as to what can it be when it comes to B2A? Business to administration. Yes.
Can it be like when we were doing the Aadhaar card, some businesses took over and then did it for the government?
Yes, of course. See, Aadhaar card, all these days we have those Jan Sahayata Kendra, where people, they come in for help. That is, I mean, they are all those things which are actually the job of administration, but they have kind of given it to these businesses who obviously earn their commissions. They earn their earnings through doing the work that ideally should have been done by the administration, by the government. So they are offering them kind of an outsourcing services, right? So that is B2A. Again, that is found online these days, and you can do it very easily from there. You can also start one such service. Everyone can, with as low an investment as, say, somewhere around 3,000, 4,000 rupees. So there are, I mean, why, I told you again, why am I talking about these things? Because anyone can start, being a part of e-commerce with least of, I mean, when we say the minimum investment that is ever possible. So this platform has actually opened up so many avenues for people all across the world at various levels of income, right? Okay, the other one is consumer to administration. Now, what can this be? Any again? Anyone who can say anything about this? Consumer to administration.
This is where people say that we are available for a particular job.
Okay.
Is it transcription sort of thing?
Pardon?
Transcription for the government?
Okay. Anything else? Anything that we can relate to?
Maybe getting licenses and things like that, where when you're getting driving licenses and you have an agent involved, or a passport and an agent involved.
Yes, and many times, like, it is when, see, it's a consumer to administration, no? So when you are looking for something from the government, right, you are applying, as you all said, yes, you are applying for a passport, right? You are applying
Filing
for a
income
license.
tax.
filing income tax. Exactly. That is why I said something that we all can relate to. Yes, that is what is consumer to administration, right? So these are all the types of businesses that we all can, I mean, whoever wants to start, we all can do through e-commerce. So having talked about the types, let me move ahead. Do you know Bill Gates once said, one second, if your business is not on the internet, then your business will be out of business. I mean, and so true, no, nowadays, anytime, and you will see every time that you come across a new business, whenever you come across a new name, what you do is, the first thing that you do is you will go and search it out on the internet. Yes or no? And if you don't find it there, what comes to your mind is this is something fake. Isn't it there in your, I mean, every one of us do that. I recently happened to check out a product, I won't name it, in a store, and that is a very big, I mean, reputed store this side. I found a particular bag with a particular, tag there, I mean, a brand name there. So what I thought, I will check it out on the website. And when I checked out the brand's website, I saw that the product was not available there. I mean, there was there was no such product as that particular thing over there. What came to my mind is that this big retail outlet is kind of, cheating people. They are using a fake brand name. So, I mean, that has become, e-commerce has become so, I mean, not only e-commerce, but your presence on the internet has become so very important, and so very kind of, it is a kind of a certificate of legitimacy. If you are not there online, that means you're not legitimate. I mean, it's that it has come to that particular level. So that is, what has made this even more attractive for all of us. So let's move ahead. Now the size, when we talk of India's e-commerce business, no? So as you can see, it is worth, I mean, that is what is expected, that, 188 billion US dollar worth of a business opportunity is available. So till 2025. So you can imagine how big a market do we have, right? Currently it is 50 billion and expected to be, just in a span of 3 years, they say it will grow to such a big level. So we have all the options, all the avenues open here. Okay. Now I'll talk about the steps that we can take. I mean, how do we actually start an e-com business? See, if we have to make our own platform, if we want to place ourselves as a platform, we are not just selling our product there. Suppose we want to start our own platform. See, people like Bansal, brothers, they started off with Flipkart, right? A platform. When they started, they never thought that it will be such a big success, but they of course saw the opportunity over there. And the rest is the story. I mean, the history we all know about, right? Alibaba. So anyone can think of such a platform, something specific, something which is different, or might be the same. I mean, with a few different strategies, you can always be a big success, because people are looking out for those platforms also these days, right? So, you're having your own platform can also be a big, and actually I'm going to talk about how to start your own platform first, and then, doing business with these platforms, how easy it is these days. It will hardly take us, 5 to 10 minutes to talk about it. But the main point is how to start your own e-commerce, platform. So, Tobis Tobias Litke, he said that e-commerce is not an industry. It is actually a tactic, a kind of a strategy, that actually makes the difference. So there are two types of business models here. You can opt from, either of them. Either you can go along with a single vendor or multiple vendor e-commerce store. So you start off a platform, so you can just have one vendor who will be selling one particular product only, right? Or might be that single vendor having a lot of multiple products under it. So you can have that, or you can have multiple vendors for the same product at your e-commerce store. So it all depends upon you. So you can choose either a single product line or have multiple product line, as I just said. That is entirely based on the budgets that you have set for yourself, right? Okay, now you might be wondering why, how does it impact our budget? Yes, of course it does. When you are actually joining hands with a lot of vendors, so your expenses do grow, right? In contrast to a single vendor. So we'll be talking about, there are these platforms, they are, why it is called a platform? Because a platform is a place where, two or more people, two or more parties, they'll come and meet. Yes, Anjana ma'am.
Actually, what do you mean by the single vendor or a multiple vendor e-commerce store? What is this vendor? If I want to start something.
Suppose you are starting, I'm talking about platform, ma'am. That is what I made clear earlier also. Like if you are starting a platform of your own, so
Yes.
people will come and join there. They'll be the sellers. Like you will not be the seller. They'll be the sellers. The sellers who will be selling through your platform.
Okay.
So it can be, you can prefer to go with just one seller selling one product, or one seller selling many products, but the seller will be the same, right?
Okay.
Or else you can go ahead with lots of sellers. Suppose you
am I not selling? Am I just providing the platform?
You are just providing the platform. Or else later on, if you want, you can start your own brand as well. So that depends upon you, right? You can start selling your own product also. So in that case also, you will require a few vendors. See, you are, suppose a platform, you are a service provider. You are providing a service, you are providing a platform on which a few sellers can come and the consumers can come on your platform, and then, they can do the negotiations kind of, and then, buy the products through your platform. So you will be earning that way. You are not selling anything directly, but then they'll say that it is your product. Suppose we buy anything from Amazon, how many of us know who is the vendor actually? We say
the name is specified there. So you can go check their site.
That is really, but if somebody asks you, Anjana, where did you buy this product from? What will you say? You will say, oh, I got it from Amazon, right?
Yeah.
So you don't say the name of the vendor over there. So what is more important is the brand there, right? Amazon.
Okay.
Because
now, how can we relate it to we as home-based business doing this?
I'll talk about that, ma'am, at the end, as I said, because right now I'm talking about the platforms. Okay. How to start your own platform. Once that platform is done, then as a seller, what do you need to do to get, kind of registered to these platforms is what we'll be talking about at the end, towards the end. Okay, ma'am. So quickly. So and this is also very easy. I'm giving you all the ideas as to what all can we do to explore this e-commerce, right? So this is about that platform. So the second thing is, once you have decided what is your perfect business plan, what is your model, like how do you want to move about starting a platform, you can, the second thing that is very, very important is your brand name. And we all know there are lots of such brand names that we all are aware of. I just talked about Amazon one, Alibaba, we all know about, Flipkart in India. Now, of course, we can see it at other places also. Shopify, right? So what are they? I mean, they have become brands these days. That is what I was talking when I was talking to Anjana ma'am, that they have become a brand no matter what we are buying under it, but the name is always there, right? So Myntra, for that matter. So we're not talking about the websites of the retailers, the big retailers or the big business houses. I'm not talking about those websites, but I'm talking about these platforms. So you have to create your own brand name. Now, what is a few tip about it is that it should be a short name so that people keep it in their mind. So it is easy to understand and remember. And when I say understand, I mean the relevance of it. As soon as we hear the name, no, what comes to our mind is what can it be concerned with? What can it be connected to? So reflective, your brand should be reflective. It should reflect back what it actually has inside. Unique, of course, otherwise people will get confused. You remember earlier we used to, I mean, these days I don't know, I think they have stopped doing business. There were Snapdeal, Shop Clues, so people often got confused with these names, right? Which was which. So it should be something unique so that people don't get confused. Usually it should not have any meaning which will be which might have a negative connotation in any of the languages in the world. So I mean, before keeping that name, please check it out that your brand name should not have a negative meaning anywhere in the world, right? So along with this, what is important is a logo. You should finalize it, because logo, again, you remember when we were talking about branding, so logo is a kind of picture. When you see something, it automatically takes you to some other place. So suppose you had a very good holiday somewhere, any picture that you see about, I mean, from that particular day will take you back to that holiday again. So that logo should always take you to that kind of an experience that you had with that particular brand. So always remember to keep your logo also very, very prominent, clear cut, and something that is unique, where people will never get confused that this can be something else, right? So once you have decided a name for your brand and its logo, now you are 2 steps ahead in forming a company, right? Then register your this is important. This is actually very, 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 very important. The other 2 were also, but this is something which is a compulsion. So registering and completing all the legal formalities. Otherwise, you will not be a legitimate platform, and you can be blacklisted any day. So that is the reason why you should actually register and complete all the legal formalities for the same. You should apply for a DIN, because you are the owner. No, you are going to start it. So it is known as DIN is Director's Identification Number, which can be, then uploaded. You can, downloaded using the DIN application. So you have that form, right? Generally, it is done by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. And if these days everything can be done online, right? So you can apply for this DIN online. You can also apply for your PAN online, suppose if it is there, like that is also required, your PAN card. So now PAN card doesn't mean it has to be the PAN card of the owner, the brand name that you have, right? It should be with that, the PAN card, this, and attaching and uploading the necessary documents becomes important over there. Now I'll continue. I'll talk about the process. Make sure that you have a PAN and a digital signature certificate. So you as an owner, if your company is going to be a sole proprietorship company, then your PAN will do, right? Then your PAN will do. But if you are suppose going in for a private limited company, so in that case, it has to be your company's PAN card, right? So, and then digital certificate, signature certificate. Once you have received the DIN, as I said, you can apply for it. You can apply for the registration of companies. This is again important to check the availability. When you start registering, no, you will get to know whether that name has been already taken by someone else or not. They'll not accept the name if it has been taken, or something like that has been taken from some by someone else. So this can also be done by checking for it on the official websites of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. What next? So after receiving the confirmation, once they say that, I mean, they'll not show that red mark over there. So you will get to know that, yes, this is now available. This name is available. So you can, one second, you can incorporate the proposed company within 6 months, if that is not there right now. So you can also have the option of renewing the name of the business later on. Suppose you want to make a change to it. Here, how many of you know, urban company that they talk about these days? Earlier it was Urban Clap, right? How many of you are aware of that particular company? That is a big service provider. Do you know? And they provide you all sorts of services. You will get it online. And suppose you are looking for beauticians, they'll be available at home. You're looking for someone to clean your house around, they'll come to you. I mean, I'm not advertising it, I'm so sorry. I'm just making you all aware of it. So apply, then you can apply for GST. I mean, that certificate is also, yes, Simran ma'am. Yes, Simran ma'am.
This is what you're saying. We have used it. They have everything like cleaning, painting.
Yes, I did not talk much about it because people will think that I'm advertising it. So I did not do it. I just started talking about it. Now, rest of the things you can check out. So then what I said was, the first thing is DIN. Then the PAN is required. Once the DIN is approved, you get it, and the name you can check out, and then you can get yourself incorporated within the 6 months. And you should apply for a GST certificate because that is compulsory these days. So shops and establishment license necessary in cases of whenever you are going in for payment gateways, because you as a platform, you have to have payment gateways. You have to apply for them. So whenever you are going in for a payment gateway, they'll definitely ask for your GST certificate. So that is why you have to apply for that. So these are the steps. I hope you all are taking it down. Once done with that, apply to open a provident fund with the respective provident fund organization, register with the Employees Insurance Corporation for medical insurance of the employees, whoever are working with you. And finally, apply for the certification of companies incorporation, where your company will be officially registered. I told you that 6 months that they'll take will be for these formalities, right? Will be officially registered under Companies Act 2013. So that is how you register yourself, right? So once the registration is done, what is important now is opening a bank account. Now, this is the next step after you are incorporated as a company. Why? Because the bank account will be opened in the name of your company and not you, right? So open up a bank account for the same. The account can be opened with any bank, but has to be opened in the official name of the company. It will be the company's bank account, not yours. If you have chosen the proprietorship model, I mean, it's a sole proprietorship, suppose, for your online business, you need to obtain a GST registration which will then allow you again, I mean, if you have that GST registration, then you can open it on your name also, that bank account in the name of your online business also. So in this case, once your bank account is ready, you can list the product you will sell on your e-commerce website. So you can name those. List is actually kind of enlisting it, putting it there on your website. What are the products that you are going to deal with?
Ma'am,
Right.
Simran ma'am want to ask a question.
Yes, Simran ma'am.
You said gateway of payments. So it
Yes.
means like through Paytm or through cash, all
Yes.
these things.
Yes. For any such Paytm, PayPal, PayU, any such thing, you need to have to be, registered or incorporated with this, Indian or whichever country you are doing your business in. You have to be registered with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs that way. So that is important. Right. Without that, you will not be getting a payment gateway. Right? Is that all right, Simran ma'am?
Yes, right.
Okay.
Thank you.
So once your bank account is ready, you can list the product you will be trading on your e-commerce website to obtain and then operate a payment gateway. Now, after that comes your website creation. So while setting up your website, these days there are two options. Yes, Anjana ma'am?
See, you just have an account, a website, and you are selling products.
Mhm.
For that, you would not need any of these things, isn't it? You can get
No.
the
No, you
what is it?
still
Google Pay.
suppose no. For that also.
And why
you need
is it that when I'm booking or buying joining some classes, they give us their name, not the company name? And yes, we do pay through Google Pay and Phone Pay and all that. So how does that happen?
That might be because they are a sole proprietor. That is the case where they have to, I mean, while they are getting they are kind of getting in contact with these payment gateways, they are giving them their GST number as well.
Okay, and then you can still have it in your name and not the company name.
As a sole proprietor, you can have it on your name.
Okay.
But you have to provide them your GST certificate, because GST is not for an individual, right? GST cannot be for you, for me as an individual. It is only for those organizations that is dealing with goods and services. So that is why that GST certificate is required over there.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So you can, after that, once all these formalities are done, now you should focus on your e-commerce website. Now there are two options again here. To save some money, you can choose a few ready-made platforms, right? That is known as kind of pre-built platform. They'll have lots of things like templates and all. So you just have to put them, assemble them together, and you can, get your websites very easily. And the other one is making it right from the scratch. So that is obviously more tailor-made, right? That is more of your own, like it will reflect all those things that you have, your own website. So it is always advisable to have your own website. But then again, as I said, you have to take care of your budget as well. Suppose you don't have that much of budget, so you can always start with this and later on go ahead and, as and when you start earning a lot, so you can obviously, make those changes that are required, right? Okay. So, and those are lots of technical things about which we can, have some other sessions. And then this is what is important. Yes, we were talking about this payment gateways. So, ultimately, whatever we are doing, we need to get paid for it, right? That is the reason why we have taken so much of pain. So how do we get paid is very, very important, because we are trading, suppose, online. So we are not meeting our customers personally. We don't know them, right? neither can we trace them out if they flee off. So what is important is the payment gateways. So you need to set up the payment gateways for your online business to become profitable. So as it will, that will allow the processing of credit cards. There are people who would be interested in paying through credit cards, debit cards, net banking, and many times the bankers also give you those, options of taking these payments through credit cards. And some specific credit card, you must have seen that, these websites say that you get an additional 10% discount if you buy through these credit cards and all. So this is just a promotion of those cards, and they are of course paying it. So credit cards, debit cards, net banking, cash cards through e-commerce website. So in order to be granted a payment gateways for your e-commerce business, you need to submit these documents. Now, please be careful and take a note of these documents that you need. So your bank account in the name of the business. And if you are a sole proprietor, you have to show a certificate. You have to show it that way. PAN card of the business. I talked about that also. Your certificate of incorporation, the registration that you did for the company. So certificate of incorporation, while incorporating, before that only you have to present them your memorandum of association, MOA. So article of association and memorandum of association, these two things are to be submitted. Your identity proof, address proof, website, terms and conditions, and the website privacy policy, they are all are to be declared and given. These certificates are to be provided, these documents are to be provided to get your payment gateways.
I have a question. Can you put that information in the notes? Because I couldn't get all that.
Definitely, ma'am. For now, what you can
Thank
do
you.
is take a quick print screen or a screenshot. That's quite easy. If you are on a laptop, so you will see that there is a, in the lowest line of those buttons, you will see that there is a window over there. So click over there, and on the top, you will have a PRTSC, that is print screen. So press the two buttons together and you will get the print screen. It will be there with
I
you.
just wanted to ask, these are the businesses what you are going to do. But what about multi-level marketing, which is also an upcoming thing? How do you advertise your presence like in it, and then, ask people to join you?
When we talk of e-commerce, this multi-level business, generally till now has not become popular on internet as such. This is more, on the personal levels, where you meet people become a part of these multi-levels. Yes, these days I am seeing, I am also getting a lot of mails that if you join, you will be getting these benefits and you just have to do this, you have to appoint 2 people under you. But, how many of us actually, take it very seriously? So they are generally, till now, it has not gained a lot of popularity on the internet. So it is generally, done on the more individualistic level. I will join hands with you if I know you well. I see you that you are, doing well in that particular business. I'll get convinced with your, might be propositions, and then I'll also, kind of be consented to join you. Otherwise, people generally don't do it. Yes, Cora ma'am.
Yeah, Mamta, right now we are talking about setting up
A platform. A platform. Yes.
What about if it's just us wanting to start a simple
Just 2 minutes.
website, like, Shopify, join a Shopify or something like that?
You want to become a seller on, say, Flipkart or Amazon or Shopify.
Yeah, or this thing. Or you want to just start a simple website and, you want to promote your product.
So if you're creating your own platform, website, and you want to sell through it, it will be the same, ma'am. It means the same platform only.
Yeah, and even if you want to join, say Amazon or Shopify, will you be doing a class on
just
that?
2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. I'll be talking about it.
And also another thing about GST, I believe you need to have a particular level of income before you actually need to take a GST certificate.
Ma'am, if you are going in for a business like this and going in to take a payment gateway, then GST becomes a must. Right. Okay. So logistics. Now you as a platform should be very, very sure as to what will be your logistic like. Whether it will be vendor based or whether it will be your own logistic. Now, this is a very, very essential step because that actually determines how successful your e-commerce business will be, right? So it means shipping the products to your customers, transporting it. So this process keeps a track of all the shipped goods, even in the transit and all. So logistic is very, very important. Logistic management involves locating and identifying the distributors, the companies all across the area that you will be, doing your business. So this is very, very important. And see, this is one reason why we as sellers, suppose, would prefer to join hands with few very, very popular platforms, because they'll help us out from these problems. Like, we'll not have to look into these logistic related things or neither logistic nor the payment gateways, nothing. We don't have to think about these things because they'll all be taken care of by those people over there, and we don't have to think much about it, right? So this is one reason why these websites, these platforms actually attract us as sellers also. So once a customer, once a customer completes his or her order on your website, you will be sent a notification. That is how this process works, through the help of inventory software, because they have a these logistic system. They have a real good inventory software, and you get all the notifications as a customer also, as a seller also. They keep on getting those information, the next step, what is happening. So you can tie up a third party for this purpose, or you can do it yourself also. There are a lot of e-commerce platforms who have joined hand with these logistic vendors. They are the people who help them out with logistics. And whereas there are some other websites who have their own logistic system. So that depends upon what kind of strategies they adopt and how much they are ready to invest, right? And the next step is how
Ma'am?
to, yes,
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt, but it's already 7 p.m.
just 2 minutes to wrap it up, 2-3 minutes. So how to, people asked me how to advertise, how to make it known to your customers that you are there. How would they know about your website? So this is how, as I said, you can actually go in to optimize your search engine. I've already talked about it once. And your Google searches, you should put in all those right keywords, that has anything to do with your business. So you can put it there in the search engine. So as soon as a person types in that word, they'll be directed towards your website. So that is how generally it is done. And then the advertisement route, you need to go to grab the customers, your customer segment. So whatever they open, they get your advertisement over there. So you are all there if you want. So if you are a seller at Flipkart, I'm so sorry, this is what I was looking for. But then anyone selling a new or genuine product, Anjana ma'am, Cora ma'am, everyone, please. Anyone selling new and genuine product, if you need to have the following, you need to have, it's not if, you need to have these following things: GST in, right? PAN card. Because without this, you will not be able to register yourself there. Your PAN card, personal PAN for the business type, proprietorship. If it is a proprietorship, then your personal PAN will do. And if it is a company, then your personal plus the business PAN is required. GS10 or 10, that is trade identification number. This is not, I mean, you have to check out which category your business falls in. Accordingly, you can, look for these IDs. So that is to be uploaded. Bank account and supporting KYC document, address proof and cancel check, and minimum one unique product to sell. Now, these are the mandatory things. You don't have to do much. To sell on Flipkart, register yourself, you will get it there. Sellers, you click on it. So you just register yourself at sellers.flipkart.com if it is Flipkart. And for Amazon also, it is the same process. You just have to go to their website, and there will be an option, become a seller. So you have to just click on it. You list your product over there under specific product categories. You will get 1,000 kind of categories over there. So whatever is your category, you can check it out over there. Once an order is received, pack the product and mark it as ready to the for dispatch. So now, because they have their own logistics, you don't have to worry about this. This is the best part. So your logistic partner will pick up the product from your, wherever you are placing it, and deliver it to the customer. Once an order is successfully dispatched by you, mind you, dispatched by you, Flipkart will settle your payment within 7 to 15 days. Now, this depends upon what kind of a seller you are. There are premium sellers like gold, silver kinds. So if you are that kind of a seller, I mean, gold and silver sellers generally get the settlement fast. Okay. Now, this is how you generally calculate your yes.
Ma'am, I don't think we can.
Okay. So we can continue with this in our next session. So for now, I'll stop it here. Okay. So see you all again in the next session.